Greetings and salutations to all you folks out there. We're back for another round of ladder. This one's going to be Hero Protagonist versus TZ, both as Cybern on the map Serenity Desert. This is actually one that I have not casted before. It is a bit of a unique one. On the south side, we've got plateaus, restricted access, some reclaim in the middle, and clumped up groups of mass extractors. On the north side, it resembles Theta a bit. Wide open spaces, little plateau in the corner, some widely distributed mass extractors, and lots of room to play with your shiny units that you're so focused on building, because there are tons of things to reclaim. You're going to have lots and lots of units at your disposal. You can see all of the 38s there. Those signify all of the rocks dispersed through those trees. You've got power reclaim, you've got mass reclaim, a couple of big boulders worth 75, even some directly in your base. So we're going to see a lot of early tech. I can feel it in my bones. We're going to have maybe some T2 mass extractors and possibly a whole horde of land factories. I know not what to expect, but you can experience it here with me. Let's go ahead and dive into this. We've got land first for Hero Protagonist, who just made a brutal error. Did not place a move order. Actually, he did place a move order, but he was not close enough to that mass extractor to actually build it, and he walked all the way there, wasting 4 precious seconds in order to build that mass extractor, and now he is walking south, where he has once again placed a move order and a mass extractor build. So hopefully he'll get that one spaced right. This engineer is building the hydro, then we'll probably reclaim and then do wonderful things. We have a mole going out to the right, but I kind of doubt there's going to be a whole lot of super early aggression. Because, yeah, when I have this much mass in my base, you know, you don't really have to get out and get map control that quickly, because you have a never-ending supply of mass to tech with right at your fingertips. Just have to expand one mass extractor out, and you've got it. TZ, he is going first land, second air, lots of P-gens as is typical, 7 to be precise, which is, yeah, standard build. He's got 2 more P-gens planned and then another land factory, which is very, very good for him because that'll give him access to far more engineers early in the game. You'll notice the Hero Protagonist is going to have to kind of limp along with 1 factory for build power for quite some time, because he's going for that hydro. I think rushing the hydro is a huge mistake on this map, and I haven't even played on it. When it's that far away from your base, typically it's a bad idea to go for it first. Maybe it'll work out for him, though, because he'll get that awesome adjacency right off the bat. Looks like he's going for second air, and second air isn't going to go down till 3 minutes into the game, and 2 more land factories. So best wishes to you, Hero. Hope you don't fall flat on your face. Going to be a little bit of manual reclaim there, some build, going for the hydro there, and then getting some engineers to the north side. You'll notice that TZ is just now building his first combat unit. He has a Mantis, and it looks like that Mantis is specifically made to go out and guard that engineer. We do have a couple of Mantis moving across from Hero Protagonist towards the south side. Maybe he'll be able to kill off some expansioneers. Always need a little bit of harass. I'm wondering if Hero Protagonist has played this map before, because this looks like something that I would do if a map was bigger than I thought it was at first. Who knows? Maybe it'll work out for him. Maybe the early aggression will be fantastic. We have 2 interceptors out for TZ, probably expecting somewhat of an early bomber from the other side. Play defensively. It can work out for you. Offense is usually the best defense, but when it comes to bombers early in the game, you definitely want to have those interceptors out to defend yourself. There's yet another scout, and he is going for more interceptors. I'm curious to see what his build order is. In that, there is a bomber, but it is 7 inty out. There is one there, though, that I missed, and it is going to wing around and try to pick up. Looks like he is attacking the mole for some reason. Why are you focus fired? There you go, and now you're going to screw up your attack pattern even more. And excellent micro from Hero Protagonist, dodging the bomber, 1v1ing that Mantis down into the ground, and those Mantis are going to get up into the base now. Bomber is going to take out one, the other is going to come in, probably kill an engineer, and that is going to be the end of that attack run. TZ definitely has the early air advantage here. He's got that bomber up. He's got 3 interceptors to 2 for Hero Protagonist. Hero throwing down a couple more land factories, and it looks like he's queuing up a grid for multiple air factories. This is going to be an interesting one, folks, because anytime you see that many air factories being queued, Games are hilarious at this rank range when you're looking at the air game, because these guys end up with 75 or 100 interceptors paired with 25 or so T1 bombers. Sometimes it gets redunculous. Maybe we'll see some of it. Who knows? Reclaim going down on this right side, as everyone should do when you have access to this much mass. Curious to see how much these guys have reclaimed. We've got 3,000 in the bag for TZ and 1,700 for Hero Protagonist. So a little bit under on that, but look at the combat presence for Hero Protagonist. He is acing that map control, killing off engineers that dare to get too far away, and TZ dominating the interceptors coming over from Hero Protagonist. Not sure what Hero was thinking moving his to that side of the map, but he is definitely going to have to get some air up quickly in order to challenge this. Got multiple T1 bombers out, 3 if my count is right, and finally some Mantis to respond to these in the south corner. That bomber should be of assistance with this little run-by going on down here, but I think that TZ is going to lose out on a mass extractor, if nothing else. So Hero Protagonist doing very, very well, apparently, at the start of this game, but looks can be incredibly deceiving on a map like this, because you end up with one person teching like his life depends on it, because usually that is the case, and then he will end up coming back later in the game. So don't count your chickens, folks. They definitely have not all hatched yet. Mantis blocking this run by on this side. That's going to fuel even more reclaim for TZ, so he can pick up all of those Mantis wrecks. And then Bombers absolutely obliterating the face off of that little squad of Mantis right there. No wrecks to be had from that little group, because, yeah, overkill damage kills the wrecks as well. Unfortunate side effect of overwhelming force. That would be why when your ACU overcharges a unit, sometimes it does not leave a wreck. It is because the overcharge obliterates all mass. It obliterates everything if given enough of a chance. It looks like Hero Protagonist might need to double down on his air production. He is getting some anti-air units out, but as we all know, Cyber and AA of the mobile variety sucks like all get out, and that is not going to be good for him, because there are still a few bombers in the air, but that one interceptor is being a hero, killed 2 T1 bombers, and is now looping back around, vetted. It's going to be able to kill off that one, and then Hero Protagonist interceptors are way out of position. When you're getting reclaimed by an engineer on your opponent's side of the map, you probably misplaced your inties. T1 bombers going up on the north side, killing off a radar. Too bad one of them was not targeted at that engineer. Hopefully they'll be able to come back around and kill it before it finishes that factory. That would deny this expansion, at least for the time being, and eliminate a little bit of that potential build power up there in the corner. TZ is behind in score, behind in power income, but is doing well for himself in mass income, and he has reclaimed 6,000 so far. Hero Protagonist, though, has definitely made up the gap. He has reclaimed almost 9 grand, and he has gotten a lot of units to this side. Streaming units versus clumped units, though, you know how that goes, but we have Jesters out now for TZ, and this is still looking bad for Hero airwise. He just cannot get enough interceptors online in one spot to overcome TZ's Air Force. TZ is actually going to be able to defend himself with Jesters rather well, which is kind of an unusual thing to see. Map control definitely still belongs to Hero Protagonist, though. He is getting build power online in the middle of the map. Always good to have localized build power so that you can separate your move queues. You can get units to one side or the other very, very quickly and respond with fresh unit mixes to varying threats that may cross your path. So always want to spread out your build power. Not something that I always do, but it's kind of a do as I say and not as I do kind of thing, because I usually play stupidly. Anybody who has watched any of my ladder streams can attest to this fact. I am in it for the fun, not for the overwhelming show of force and the glory. But you know what? That's the way I like to play games, so I am okay with that. Looks like Hero Protagonist is finally... Oh, that was a lot of units damaged from that pass of bombers. Hero Protagonist has finally gotten up enough interceptors to become a challenge to TZ, but TZ does still have a few more in his pocket than the red corner does. We do have a T2 air factory, though. That's where all those things are popping out of so quickly. Might get to see a couple Corsairs come online. There's only one, let's see, 2 air factories, yes, for blue, but he is assisting them rather heavily. We do have a T2 land factory, so we're going to start seeing some rhinos out on the field and some T2 engineers building up power. That is actually a Wagner. You may ask, why build a Wagner when you can build rhinos? Because Wagners are faster. So if you're wanting to respond to threats more quickly, which is kind of something that TZ needs to do because he is defending on multiple fronts at the moment, then you definitely want that speed. And Wagners actually have the same damage per mass as rhinos, they just have less health. So it can be kind of annoying. Actually, do they have more? I think they have the same damage per mass, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong on that. Someone will correct me in the comments if I am, but it's very, very close. I do know that their weakness for having the amphibious ability is definitely their HP. Nice group of Mantis going on down here for TZ. Hopefully he can get those Wagners out to the front. It looks like he is holding them back ever so slightly. Let's see what Hero Protagonist intel looks like. He does have all of this scouted very, very recently, so he shouldn't have any problem knowing what's going on. And you'll notice that the map is contracting just a little bit. TZ is still behind in score, but he is cranking out the eco at 49 per tick, equal or slightly greater than Hero Protagonist. Hero has 16,000 reclaimed to TZ's almost 10,000, so he has a substantial advantage from that aspect. There's the T2 land factory. He is cranking out rhinos, the main assault weapon at T2 for Cyber, and those should serve him very, very well. Still Wagner's cranking out for TZ. The Wagners will do exceptionally well versus Mantis because they can keep up with those speedy little bastards and do a good job with intercepting oncoming units. However, Wagners versus Rhinos, the Rhinos are going to win every time. Hero Protagonist still struggling to hold on to any amount of air at all. The Jesters have been killed off mainly by mobile anti-air, but he is still in danger of bombing runs and the like as long as he is at a disadvantage in air power. Here comes 2 clumps colliding. You've got multiple Wagners on the front, mainly T1 from the red side. We do have another Rhino moving up from the back. Lots of engineers out here getting up all the reclaim that they can. Hero Protagonist doing an excellent job of getting that reclaim up. It is a beautiful thing to see when people fully exploit the resources available to them. Look at how clean this side of the map is. And we've still got a few tree clumps here and there, some rocks, some stuff up here, a few wrecks left online. There are engineers out reclaiming, but you can see the vast difference between Hero's reclaim patterns and TZ's. A little bit of a collision on the bottom side here. Red Bomber making a beautiful sweep before the camera. Man, it's almost like I planned that. You see that right there? That is how well I have, how good of a grasp I have of the camera controls, if not of my voice. Plan that out in every intimate detail. Looks like Red is going to be able to overpower that group of Mantis, but it shoots off to the side. That's going to opt for killing off all the engineers and grabbing those mass extractors instead of dying at the hands of a superior force. And look at that, a perfect raid party. A mole and a Mantis got through the lines and are moving up to the north. They're probably going to die to those Wagners, though. Bit of a conflict going on the right. This one is a little more evenly matched, possibly in Hero's favor, but he is going to pull back after a sweeping collision there, leaving a trail of wreckage across the map. This is lots of troop movements, and this should have never gotten by. It's hard when there's 2 sides of the map to focus on. Hopefully I'm not going to miss anything. This never should have happened, but now that it has, you can see the advantage that the Wagners have. those speedy guys are going to be able to get back into the base, outpacing anything that Hero Protagonist can throw at them. The ACU is going to sweep in from the side and try to intercept, maybe get an overcharge in. It is going to kill one Wagner. He's losing P-Gens. There we go. He's going to be able to catch up now. You better land an overcharge. And the red is breaking the line on the south side. You can see Medusa Fire stunning that T1 point fence, letting everything else overrun it. Apparently, there is no overcharge for Hero. Well, he had it. Maybe he landed one. But those Wagners are very, very quick. Running away, getting away quite handily. And T2 gunships online. Those are going to move up and respond to that threat. Should be able to take care of it. No problemo. Medusa is devastating versus T2 because they still have the stun effect. They will be able to keep those T2 units from reaching their full potential, and makes them a whole lot easier to kill for swarms of T1. You guys have seen multiple casts, I'm sure, of Zlo surviving on Medusa spam well into the late game, just spamming with 35 or 40 T1 factories, and that is what lets it happen. That awesome, amazing stun effect. Anti-air Mantis shredding through these interceptors. Another mistake by TZ. He has a bad habit of landing those interceptors in the worst possible places. Good lord. Hero Protagonist still holds a very good grasp of the map. He has had slightly superior map control for most of the game, barring this one little advance right here. And overall, he's doing very, very well. 74 mass per tick. He has reclaimed 25k. TZ at 19,000. And it's hard to tell, around 60 mass per tick. So he is at a disadvantage. But he's been able to hold his opponent at bay. And that is what counts, right? Right. That is absolutely the case. TZ getting an upgrade. That is the T2 on the ACU. Make it a little more survivable. And he's got almost entirely T2 mechs on the backside, and has even upgraded a few of the outliers. T2 gunships moving in on these units, shredding those Wagners below. Renegades are awesome because they have area of effect. They're the only gunship, well, besides the Soul Ripper, but yes, the Soul Ripper is technically a gunship, but I don't think we think of it like this. But yeah, it has area of effect. All the other ones fire on single targets, but these guys can actually do damage to 2 or 3 units at a time in tightly packed clumps. Makes them fantastic versus units. Absolutely phenomenal. Got some T2 units moving in on this side, but sitting just outside of range. That almost looked like there was no intel. I don't see any moles, and I don't see a radar on the back end. I do see an air collision, though, and this looks like it's finally going to favor Hero Protagonist. He has built enough interceptors to wrest control away from TZ, and for the first time in this game, he is going to be free from the fear that comes with knowing you cannot deny your opponent when he comes after you with those air units. Yet another run by with Wagners. TZ is doing a fantastic job of using the speed advantage on those units. He hit the left just a little while ago, and now he is hitting the right. The gunships are going to respond, though. Hero Protagonist has exactly the right tools for the job, and he is going to push in with some rhinos. Again, the rhinos do have an advantage over the Wagners, so this clump is moving away. Tit for tat, damage for damage. Could even go so far as to say an eye for an eye. TZ and Hero trading blows across this map. Every time one of them advances on one side, the other advances on the other side. And things stay relatively even. This could be the tipping point, though, because we have broken lines on both the right and the left for TZ. This is where, yes, the run-bys are good. Yes, the Wagners are amazing, but they are not main battle tanks. And I think TZ has finally started to run dry on units because the superior units from Hero Protagonist have just been wearing on his forces for so long. Interceptors shredding those gunships, no problem whatsoever. Hero Protagonist out of place with his. He could have gotten complete and total air control on that side. And the left is officially completely broken. However, there is a T3 land factory online that probably explains a little bit of the unit deficit. He has got 3 loyalists online, which are going to die to T2 forces if they stay in range. But as long as he can kite a little bit, use the EMP to his advantage when it does blow up, because that stun effect is brutal, he should be able to take care of all these units. He's actually getting inside the shield with his loyalists. That's going to help him finish all of these off. So he lost 2 of them, but that is going to give him the victory over that run by. Excuse me. That was not a good place to yawn. On the right-hand side, we've got T1 still in play, moving up to the north. It's amazing how T1 stays relevant, especially for Cybern. Those Medusas, though. But that looks like about the only T1 units being produced for the left side. I am seeing the last of the Mantis getting played for TZ as well. So it looks like T1 is about to be phased out. We have T3 from the south. Do we have it from the north? Yes, we do. There's a response to the T3. So we're officially moving into the later stages of this game. Loyalists, of course, have a massive speed advantage over most units on the field, and they do pack a wallop of a punch. Not even counting that EMP effect, they do have a pretty good damage to mass ratio. Not quite as good as, like, say, Bricks or Percivals or that kind of thing. But when you pair it up with that speed and the EMP effect, they can be used to great effect versus just about any type of unit. I spy with my little eye a couple of Corsairs moving south. Those are going to hit these T3 units, hopefully deal a fair bit of damage before they get shot down. You'll notice that that Loyalist has 3 veterancy, 13 freaking kills. 1 kill over there, 8 kills on him, and we got 10 kills on that Loyalist. So lots of kills to go around here, as these guys have been in a couple of conflicts moving forward. They are going to continue plowing ahead towards Hero's base. TZ just about folded in on himself, but now that he's got those higher tier units, the advantage of more production time at that tier, he is going to be able to make up some of that deficit. However, there are bricks accumulating. Bricks cannot respond as quickly, but they do pack way more damage into a tight area. The Loyalists will not be able to take those on head on. So many interceptors. I actually want to know how many. We have 104 for Hero Protagonist and 81 for TZ. So slight air advantage towards Hero Protagonist, but it only takes one bad turn to change that. What I was saying earlier about the gunships, I was going to point this out and then I got distracted. A lot of times you can use a small amount of bombers or gunships or strat bombers or whatever the case may be to actually win air control, because if the other air player or the other player, if you're in a 1 versus 1, overreacts and chases those bombers down at the cost of a bad turn from his interceptors, it is actually possible to win air control with basically no losses, except for the combat unit that you threw away. Even if you don't hit the target, your next attempt will work, because then they don't have any air. It is a pretty brutal tactic to use. I've used it a few times myself, and it's always hilarious when people fall for it. You gotta have your interceptors in the right place, though. Over here on the north side, we have Loyalists moving in against all of these T1 units. The Medusas do not stun T3. That is highly, highly unfortunate, but it is a fact of life. So those Loyalists are going to be able to vet up and mop up, except for the fact that there are bricks now. There were 2 bricks on the north side. They ran away from the north, only to meet 4 more bricks coming from the west. So those Loyalists are now going to have to flee towards the south, and yeah, every single loyalist died in that confrontation, and Hero did not lose a single brick. That was an incredible bit of micro, a perfect trap set and executed, but as all of those units moved out of position, TZ was able to move in on the north again. Those run-bys, man, those run-bys. I spy a Monkeylord. We should really play games of I Spy, or Simon Says, with FA. I think that would be kind of entertaining. Still sitting on... Nope, that is bumping up to a T3 air factory. So we may see a more pronounced air control for Hero Protagonist. Does not look like TZ is focusing on T3 air at all. So many Inti out of fuel. This is where a refueling station would actually come in very, very handy. Hero Protagonist sitting on, let's find out here, 123 mass per tick with 37,000 reclaim. TZ, on the other hand, 50,000 reclaim with an, nope, not identical, 113 mass income. So he hasn't teched up quite so much. He does not have resource allocation, which Hero Protagonist just got in anticipation of going T3 with that air factory. But man, is he reclaimed. Once he started pushing his opponent back, getting engineers out to those wrecks, he was able to handily make up that mass deficit. Bricks holding the pass over here. Bricks moving through the pass on the south side, going to be able to wipe out all of that with very little effort at all. Rhinos fronting for those bricks. Not that bricks need a front, but hey, it can't hurt, right? More combat. There's a T3 scout. That means he is probably going to see that Monkeylord. Let's see what is scouted here. Not much, actually. Not much at all. There goes the Monkeylord, and we have fairly decent intel. It is not perfect. He doesn't have the T3 air factory scouted, but it is reasonably good, better than I do in most of my games, so I cannot complain. Loyalists cramming themselves up where they should not be in Hero Protagonist's base. Knocking out those land factories. Anytime you can knock out build power, it is a good day. And there comes the Monkeylord. 5 bricks is not going to be enough to stop this behemoth. There's the Mazer to the face. Monkeylord is now chomping down veterancy, and this is not what you want to have happening when you're facing a Monkeylord. 1 vet already in the bag, almost at full health. It will be by the time it reaches the other side, and 49,000 potential. Hero Protagonist throwing out the GG, which I think is a little bit soon maybe, but we'll just have to see what happens. He doesn't have enough bricks clumped up in any one location to stop the Monkeylord. That is the problem. He has enough bricks and loyalists total to stop it, but some of them are in different locations. Got 3 bricks versus 3 bricks. That's going to lose. Yeah, TZ. What? Why are you throwing out GG, Hero Protagonist? Because Monkeylord, that's why. There is a Monkeylord being built. You can see Control K'ing the engineers that would not move out of the way. Realized the wrecks were there and need to be reclaimed, so built it somewhere else. Sometimes pathfinding in this game is a bitch. And Monkeylord is going to go up at a screaming pace. There's going to be a mechs going down on the north side as those 3 loyalists continue their rampage through the base. TZ just apparently has a talent for sticking those things in where they are least expected. Monkeylord has paused, and I'm not sure why. He needs to be moving up to chew through all of this veterancy. Yes, I know that there's a group of bricks right there which would threaten it, but it already has 1 vet, and there's a near infinite number of veterancy to be had from all of those engineers. Well, up to 5 anyway. It's infinite till you get to 5, because math. That's why. Units moving up on the right. TZ has exhausted Hero Protagonist unit supply, and he is now claiming ground. This is a complete and total swing. Reclaim built the Monkeylord, and the Monkeylord is going to win the game. Maybe not, though. That thing is building at a furious pace. Hero protagonist, comma. Not sure what comma means, but that Monkeylord definitely needs to keep moving. So many interceptors. Good lord. Hero protagonist had lots of T3 air. Ooh, 2 strat bombers as well. But TZ just has an overwhelming number. Those 2 strat bombers are headed for... directly for the commander, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. Nope, going for the T3P gen. 2 connecting. 2 more will kill it. He needs to shoot that down, but the Monkeylord is coming out. So now we have... where'd the other Monkeylord go? There it is, right there. I was looking at it before. Anyway, we now have a small contingent of, let's see, 5 loyalists, and on the front line, 6 bricks. We've got about 18 bricks total. The problem is, hero protagonist has 11 bricks right next to a full health Monkeylord. So this stands absolutely no chance and will retreat. Wise move, TZ. Maybe hero protagonist will be able to reclaim some of this territory. The problem is he doesn't have much build power because he control K'd all of those engineers, and he is not actually going to get that much mass back from this. He didn't kill a bunch of blue units to dump new mass on his side. He's reclaiming what he had before, and that is going to be a net loss. 19% loss at a minimum. Oh, good lord, there's a Soul Ripper. Hero protagonist does not have air control. Not by a long shot. He's going to have a very hard time denying that. There's a lot of times when Soul Rippers are a bad idea, but this is an example of a time when a Soul Ripper is a perfect idea. Bricks moving back out through the map on this side. They are popping out of those T3 factories one by one. There are, let's see, 5 bricks on this side, accompanied by a stealth. Monkeylord is going to stay on this side, though, to deal with the main force. So this is a little bit worrying. Have to see what he can do to come back from it. There are 2 more bricks coming out. Hey, if they keep popping out of the factories at that rate, he might actually be able to pull this off. Units on the right withdrawing once again as they see that superior force of Monkey and bricks. They are not going to leave completely, though. That is for sure. Let's check on the reclaim numbers here. 74k for TZ. And 50k for a hero protagonist. So 50% advantage to TZ at 25,000 mass. That is basically a Monkeylord and a half just in reclaim. Huge advantage to have. He does have inferior eco, though, so maybe the gap is not quite so big as all that, but it is still significant. Soul Ripper coming online in just a few minutes. It is past the 75% mark. Man, as well as hero protagonist did at the very beginning of this game, it's looking like he might not be able to pull this off. The question is, can he build enough ASF to suicide that suicide that Soul Ripper in one shot? Because even if he loses air control, if he can drop that Soul Ripper on his side of the map and reclaim it, he could easily get a Megalith up, and that would let him pretty much dominate this game, because there is nothing out here that could survive a Megalith. Nothing that could outrange it, and hero protagonist could probably field enough flak and air to guard it. Soul Ripper is just about done. 86k out of 90. We've now got 6 bricks up on the front line here versus 5, and they are dropping from both sides. This is going to be very, very close to see who actually wins that. The Medusas are kind of making up the difference there, because those bricks are standing still and taking the fire. Cheeky bastard engineers, look at that. They're building mass extractors and reclaiming inside hero protagonist territory. I also love these Medusas here in the back of the base. swinging around, killing off engineers, and doing what damage they can. There's the air move from TZ. He is going to dive in and actually lose most, if not all, of his ASF. But here comes the Soul Ripper. There's Red's ASF going in. Hero, you've got to drop that. It's getting closer to the base. He doesn't see it yet. Now he sees it. Now he knows it's there. He is going to go all in on it. This force is still okay versus all of these, and he has finally gotten control there. So he's no longer losing on land, but no, get in there. Drop it. Don't mismanage your fighters. This is painful. No. Now I know what everyone feels like watching me play ladder. Shield goes down over the ACU. It's now taking damage. He's going to run for these shields down here. Don't build, run. Don't build, run. 2/3 health. There's a veterancy killing off those shields. 4,000 health and in the red. No, 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 no. 600. No. And the Soul Ripper goes down. Oh. GG. Well played. Well played indeed. I think if Hero Protagonist had been on the ball with those ASF and dropped that Soul Ripper just 3 or 4 seconds earlier, as long as it did not fall on his ACU with the reclaim from that Soul Ripper, I think he could have won this, because there wasn't really a backup plan down here. Nothing happening. He had gone to full land production to deal with this mess right here. The tightly clumped bricks and the Monkeylord, which is rapidly vetting up there. And yeah, I think Hero Protagonist had every chance of winning that. But hey, Soul Ripper for the win with his dying breath, killing off that ACU. Alrighty, folks. That's going to wrap it up for this cast. That was a nail-biter, back and forth several times on that one. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please send me some replays, and I'll see you in the next one.